Hey guys, how you doing? So I thought I would continue on the series of twin flames and soulmates and the triggers and the mirrors and the things that we can go through, and how do you know that you've met a twin flame, what it feels like, how do you meet your twin flame, okay, which is one of that I've started to do before. But generally, the reason why I give a lot of people these messages is because I actually went through 6 karmic soulmates or twin flame connections, definite twin flame connections. Okay, but I really do need to make sure that people understand that a soulmate actually feels exactly like twin flame. It's really just a name, and it can be very upsetting for a lot of people, and people can be very emotional. Okay, and it can bring out a lot of hatred, and it can really start to make people blame other people. People can also blame YouTube card readers. They can blame loads of kind of different things, but that's for a reason. And the reason why that is because it's purge. It's something that's locked within your subconscious memory that you can't physically reach, but it's an itch of something in your mind's eye, okay, of an attraction of your light of why we meet twin flames. Okay, so at a high vibration, okay, you will attract in so many different lessons, and also at a low vibration of something that I would really like to go over soon. But the one thing that you will definitely feel when you come across a twin flame, now the twin flame can be absolutely anywhere on Earth, right? It can actually be anywhere on Earth that you meet this person. Now, you can meet them online, you can even meet them through YouTube channels and stuff like that. So for people that are running YouTube channels, you know, you have to be also very careful, because that can happen, and it did happen to me a lot too, okay? But the one thing that you know when this is happening is that you get this very underlining warm feeling, okay, and it connects onto you. Now you can just start talking to this person momentarily, okay, and within that moment's instant you feel this, well, it depends on how open you are, okay, and it depends on how many soulmates and twin flames that you may have gone through. Okay, but you feel this because when you're open and your light sources and of an attraction, okay, your vibration can attract in a lot of people that need help and support, and that is why we do that as light workers, okay, but it pushes you on towards your spiritual path and your journey, and that is a specific reason why, is because you will attract in substances of people that need help. Okay, now they need help because they attract to your energy level, and they contract, because it's a contract, you see. That's how you contact spirits, that's how you contact and you become spiritual, you become a medium, all that kind of thing. You can see deeper than most, you feel deeper than most, okay, and you're up and you're down and you're up and you're down. But the reason why you meet loads of different soulmates or twin flames is for that specific reason, where it pulls off certain elements within your energy, okay, that elevates you to the next stage of what you've come here to do. Okay, so you can go through many different soulmates or twin flames. But the one thing that really does feel like, that when you meet someone momentarily, is that exact thing. That feeling is a connection instantly. Now you can meet somebody, say online, from a YouTube channel or from anywhere, okay, and you can just start texting this person, okay, and automatically they grab onto your energy. That's because you're vulnerable as well as what they are. It's because you're searching for something that's already found us. Everything reaches us to the point of where we can't turn around and disconnect. Okay, we can't disconnect because it's attached onto our vulnerability. That's how we attach onto other vulnerable souls, okay, men or women. Because a lot of people are in search when they're spiritual, they're in search for an answer, okay, and when they can't find that answer, it's like an itch, okay, and that itch can become a niche to finding things through tarot card readings and people that are spiritual, okay. When you find someone that's spiritual, they still have like a major energy source, be it low or up or down, okay. That's why you can feel up or down, they feel up or down, and you start to trigger one another off, okay. So basically you start to connect, and you feel this warm elation of someone that you don't know, that you're starting to feel an elation for, but you start to feel like you're having relations, okay. So when you start to feel like you're having relations, trust me, that can get very sexual, or anything interrelated within yourself, okay, even at a complete and utter distance. It can really start to feed from your low vibration, because that's where it feeds from. an energy source. We're not talking about people. We're talking about connections of souls. Okay, I really need to make sure that people understand that I am not, and other people shouldn't really start blaming a human being for being human, because what you're doing is fighting the conditioning of the mind of what is needed to be separated between this world and the other. Okay, that's how you meet them in different realities and different time zone realities. Okay. So really what we don't do is what we end up doing is blaming the person, okay, which is self-worth, which comes down to their look, their feeling, things that they do, things that they don't, how they shop, how they don't shop. This is when you physically meet a twin flame, okay? But before you do, when you know that you've met one, is that it connects onto your energy of vulnerability. Your vulnerable state is something that's leading you into temptation of needing a relationship to realise what it truly feels like to have one, okay? When we're spiritual and we see tarot card readings and we do all that kind of thing for a lot of the time, or listen to meditation music that's actually opening your mind, you're attracting in a substance. I don't know if a lot of you can ever remember looking back at past YouTube videos that used to tell you that as soon as you open your third eye will give off a certain amount of energy force that can be felt by other human beings of the same nature. That's why they see your aura, and that's why they see colours, and that's why you can also start to see many different things. So that substance is very attractive to lower souls of your own content. Okay, your lower content, trust me, it is just you're not to blame, but you're just as much to blame as the other person when things can get very difficult if they do. Okay, I think I'm treading on very fine ground when I say that one. But a lot of people can say that the twin flame went with somebody else. The twin flame is in another party of relationship with another soul. Okay. That they're not conforming to a belief of what I do, and that things can get very difficult, or because of the amount of distance and the travel that there is, but I really can't forget about this person. Okay, so when you form this connection, you basically have to start to realize after a time, when your lessons start to deplete, is that you can't blame yourself for something that you went to get yourself. Okay, so you attracted yourself to something, and that's where we start to dive deeper into the realms of law of attraction. Okay, law of attraction is something that you went to get, so you can't blame another person when they form this. It depends on what kind of part of twin flame that you're in. Okay, so we'll try to stick on subject. But generally, that you feel this warm elation feeling. Okay, and then that can really start to play havoc on when you're alone, how you feel about them. Okay, because when they start to message, or when they start to talk to you or anything like that, or send an email, you know, because basically you can wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning if you're asleep and you live on different time zones. You can just wake up momentarily and not understand why, and then all of a sudden your phone goes off and you realise that they've actually contacted you. The contact of a phone is exactly like the directory that comes out of your mind, of your third eye. That's why you can end up becoming a medium and spiritual, and you have a calling and a purpose. Your purpose is not always just meant for a twin flame, as such as a relationship that ends up forming into a bond of like a relationship or marriage. It's something that connects onto your third eye of a directory of a phone line. So your phone line can actually speak to them as well as they can speak to you, and you can feel all sorts of things. There's been twin flames that I've connected with via the internet over a period of time of a few years, you can actually hear that person screaming and shouting. You know, when things are going wrong and they're being triggered off by other parties of things that are going on in their soul group separately towards what I'm also going through also being a medium, you hear a lot of those things that are going through, 1, through their mind, 2, through their life, and 3, the amount of blame and stuff that they can actually start to say to you. Now, this is not me by any chance ever blaming anybody in life at all. These are literally things that do happen and can happen in twin flame connections that you have with people that, 1, you may not have already met, 2, you've only really spoke to. Okay, because what we're trying to do is understand what these feelings are like, because they raise awareness within you to realise what that's about. Because when a twin flame can start blaming you for something, okay, it's really the blame and hatred that they've had locked in their subconscious memory for a very long time. Okay, and within that is where they purge. Purge is something that is needed all of the time. Okay, within the Tower of Tarot, it is so important in order to let go. Okay, we have to let go of anger, and we have to realize what that is in order to be able to find the calm after the storm or before the storm. Okay, so when you meet a twin flame or somebody online, you feel this directory that connects onto your third eye, and you can start to manifest them into your life through denial. Okay, because it's a contract that's written within your soul agreement. That's why it's an itch, because you can't see it, you can't see the outcome. Okay, and when you're vulnerable and you can't see the outcome, that's why you become more vulnerable. But you're supposed to. You're supposed to feel more vulnerable, because it has to. Because the soul has to find its strength and courage in order to be able to continue on in life. Because you never died. Your soul never dies. Your meat suit and the person that you are dies, sure, but your soul is on a constant timeline of a connection of outer space, pretty much. It's something that never ceases to dismiss. It doesn't dismiss itself, and it just carries on and on and on and on. So you don't really meet soulmates or twin flames in a past life, because your soul never died. You can't meet something that never died. You just meet again and again and again and again. But pretty much from what my belief stands as, through going through so many different connections of awakenings, is that I don't believe that we ever did meet. Okay, I think that the universe or spirits put this together because one instant of a soul is here. Okay, one instance of a soul of the Wheel of Fortune is here, another is here, and another is here. We have sets of three, which is the master teacher and the master pupil. Okay, three of pentacles, but it's locked into place. Okay, so the connection is what I don't know if any of you have ever seen the TV program Supernatural. Okay, and in one of those a long time ago, you could see a lot of the angels that had a gold leaf in a book. Okay, a gold leaf in a book, and she had this contract, and she had to make sure that everybody was facing her contract, their contracts. Okay, so she would slow time down completely, retrograde, but slow time down completely, and then make sure that this soul and that soul and that soul did that. So she was putting it together pretty much. So it's the same kind of concept, if I'm honest, of what my belief is. But trust me, also your belief will change so many different times that you will have a belief system that will say, well, you used to say this and you used to say that. And then when your belief changes and you start to do something different, other people may not like that because you told them something where your belief started to change and they believe in it. That's why it comes down to self-belief and self-worth of something that you believe in, but your belief starts to change. And it would do through awakenings, your mind, and things that you can't possibly fathom in order to change. Okay, that's the future. But this connection is what I believe is put together by spirits. They realise because they can see, it's kind of like you can't see them, but they're walking around and seeing all these people in day-to-day life. And they think, okay, so you need to really work on this as a soul, okay? You need to work on this, and you have all of this stuff from your past contract that I have here, okay? And I think that the person that's suited for you that will show you these kind of lessons is this person here that's lacking in strength, as well as what you are, but you're not quite sure of it either, okay? So we have an instant here and an instant here of two substances of souls of energy that need to learn a certain lesson. So how this works is, okay, well, we'll put that together. Cupid's arrow, 8 of Wands, okay? They put that together, and you pick up a phone directory of talking to one another via one's mind, okay? That leads off into a complete dynamic change where you change your life for soul groups of people, where they all interconnect with one another, okay? Because if this person is with another person, which they would be in their life, which is a soulmate still, because we're all cut from the same cloth, this person, this person, this person, this person, this person. And energy is contracted by each Wheel of Fortune that a person has when it starts to lose control. Okay, when it starts to lose control, it contracts so many different energy sources throughout its whole day. Okay, I know we will get to the point, but when it goes around and around and around and around, you feel like you're losing control, right, of oneself. So it's contracted so much energy. You. Okay, life is always about you, it's never about anybody else, because we are all one energy. So you is me is you, us and them, everybody is the same. Okay, we just think this differently. Okay, so when that happens, your energy source here gets locked into a pentacle, pretty much here, pentacle, plate, but a pentacle. So it's locked into that. Okay, when you get home from work, and when you get home and all you've done is think about the twin flame or the soulmate or people, okay, because I know I start to lose subject, but the reason why I do this is because your belief will get to the point where you see everybody completely differently as a soulmate, you know, because we have lessons to learn, and the best thing to ever uncover are the lessons that are learned by soul group members, not actually by twin flames. That's what I'm saying. Soul group members of people that you know in your life will teach you more, okay, because they are pushing you towards your contract just as much as what a twin flame is. Because one individual soul contracts so much dark energy throughout its day through panicking and worrying about the coronavirus, maybe, okay, by worrying about money, by stress, by cooking, by cleaning, by realizing that I want a day off but I can't, I have to go out shopping, I have to look after the children, I have to do all this thing. I met Sid and Sid started having a go at me because I reversed into a car parking space, just the one that I wanted. Okay, so you contract loads of aggression throughout the day, past life aggression and regression. Okay, we regret certain things and then we aggress on certain things. Okay, and then we learn to agree and to disagree. Okay, so when you come home after the day and all you've really thought about is the twin flame soulmate kind of situation or everybody in your life, the energy then gets transmuted to another. You blame another person because what you're acting is from a low self of vibration. Okay, these are so important. If I'm losing subject, because they are very important. Okay, so when you come home, you will act from a very, very, very low vibration. Okay, so half the time I do start to channel. That's why I keep talking. Okay, but you act from a very, very low vibration. Down here, Wheel of Fortune, left to right, top to bottom. Okay, everything plays out a cycle. But when your energy level is here and it's very low, you can start to act out. Okay, everybody can. Everybody can. Okay, but when you're with twin flame, one of the other reasons of why you know is because you can toss and turn in bed and you just cannot. You shake in your legs and you scream. Okay, and you have sleepless nights and you just feel this anger and this aggression. Okay, now I'm not saying that they are, but a lot of times that's something that your soulmate and twin flame is going through. That's something that I went through with one person, okay, before I met Emily, was started talking to past karmic soulmate, okay, at the same time was getting me to go all the way to another country, okay, on the other end of the earth for me. Started talking. I felt so angry and so aggressive and I didn't even know, but I knew in here, I knew. But in here, I led into temptation of belief, still went on that journey, okay, even though my intuition was screaming loud to me to say something's wrong, something's wrong, something's wrong. But I'd already bought a plane ticket. I'd already spent £1,000 on a plane ticket and everything else to go on this journey. And the day after that I'd got the plane ticket and organised everything, the person started talking to a karmic soulmate. I felt so angry, couldn't sleep, shaking, everything else, didn't know why. Okay, phone call came through an hour and two later than what it normally does. Okay, realised that that was what was going on, asked, got denied, no, I don't know what you mean. Okay, so again, another sign. All of those signs can play havoc with you, knowing that if you're shaking about in the bed, okay, and that you're screaming and shouting and being really tense and you really don't know why, but you're connected with a soulmate or twin flame, that's the reason why. It's because it is them. It's not no blame on them, it's just something that they're having to go through, and that's where they can start to deny, lie, all that kind of stuff, because all of those feelings come out. Denial, lying, manipulating, twisting the energy. Okay, it can still be very spiritual, trust me, they can be very spiritual, but when the energy collides, that's where the relationship starts to form a different ship. Okay, Noah's Ark. But pretty much that you can start to shake and scream, lose sleep, you can start to blame other people around your life, you can get very angry, okay, you shout and scream at friends, parents, situations. That's where the chain forms soul groups. You start to scream and shout at them, they start to scream and shout at you. That's you purging out energy, and that's you purging out release of aggression. That's what I'm saying. You don't sometimes realise that because that's happening, that's drawing your focus and your attention towards one person, but really it's drawing your attention to a contract of where it goes outwardly here. Okay, it goes towards your contract, it pushes you towards your karma. So you push all of that blame out as purge and towards everybody else is to blame bar me. Trust me, I've been there, right? Everybody else is strange. Jim Morrison enters the building. Everybody is strange. Life is strange. Okay? People are. But you see them differently after a period of time when your contract starts to dissipate and end. Okay? But you go through these stages of shaking and screaming and blaming people, and they blame you, and you go through control and narcissism, and you start to realise, oh, I've seen you in a different light. Even after 20 years, you've started to change for the worse or better, you know. Majority of the time when you're spiritual and you're in twin flame connections, but even in life, is that you'll notice so many people changing and starting to be controlling. Okay, you really will, because you'll be awakened truth to the fact of that it's happening, but you can still get trapped into your contract. But another sign, obviously, is that you'll go through those sleepless nights and that panic and that worry. Okay, but again, generally, I went all the way over to a person. Okay, and that exact same thing happened. Was talking to somebody else whilst I was there. I was there for 2 weeks. Right, well, I wasn't, but that was what I was contracted in order for my ticket and everything to go there for. Okay. So you will start to do that. But it's really about a progression of blame. So how do you know that you've met them? So you feel the warmth. You feel that psychic connection. You feel this undeniable denial feeling, where it's undeniable, but it's still denial. You get trapped into illusion. You can really start to plan for the future. You can start to think, well, this is it. This is the person that's meant for me. 100% I'm going to go on that, and I'm going to start to forget about my life altogether, and I'm going to go on this journey. Okay, I am a truth speaker. I've been through it. So not everybody's the same. Trust me, they're not. These are just certain signs that of truth that you can really start to go through. Okay, so you start to do that. So you feel warm, you feel elation. It can really start to play havoc on your emotions and your feelings and your sexual nature and everything else as a human being, and your rights too as an individual. You can really start to feel and think all of that kind of thing via a connection that's probably never even met because of the phone directory. It connects mind, body and soul to theirs. You can feel and think everything that they're doing as well as what you can too. You can feel this from across the radio waves and airwaves of miles and miles and miles and miles and miles apart. It really doesn't matter. Okay, but please also make sure that you watch the one before that I'd done, also apart from the tarot stuff, but the one before, which was explaining about the importances of what to do and what not to do, and to be very careful if you are thinking about travelling. Okay, because nobody would be able to change your mind. Friends, people, they probably won't be able to change your mind. Once your mind's made up, your mind's made up. You probably won't be able to avoid it because you'll go forward on your contract. Through part of that was what I was saying. Sometimes we have to learn a big lesson of what that's really like. Okay, but I will not lie to people. You could go through a twin flame relationship and it probably wouldn't be the one. Okay, now I know I've seen in the past a lot of past videos from people where people start hating upon someone to say that you know, you might not just be with this one person forever and that's it. Okay, I know people can get very upset and emotional thinking that, but trust me, it does happen. So you've got to be prepared, knowing that one person that you're talking to may not be that person. Okay, it depends on your contracts that you're contracted with together. But generally, you can start then having awakenings. Okay, when you start having awakenings, you can have headaches, you can see things above and beyond belief of what you're designated to be like. Okay, so you start to feel those. Okay, I think I'm going to kind of leave it at that, but there are other signs, but mainly it's to do with that you just know when they're going to call. Okay, and later on I will do you what it's like to be in a relationship with twin flame or soulmate, to physically be in a relationship with that person and living with the person as well, and difficulties and things that you can go through and triggers and mirrors. But at the moment we're just sticking with how would you really know that you've met one, is basically if you start to text someone, okay, and all of a sudden they're emailing you or something, and bang, it's like that, and it's a spark of someone that you just can't forget. It's undeniable. It's something that you feel you have this urge in order to go towards, okay? That's generally because your soul is unhappy where it is. If your life is out of control as such, to the point where work is getting too much, parents are getting too much, if you've got kids and you think, oh, you know what, Steve, I just need a break. I just need to be on my own for a while, okay? When that starts to happen, you're giving off that substance of like pheromone, okay? So your other person can feel that and think that as a calling. It knows, okay? So it's soul, obviously, okay? But they know. So they're pulling you towards that of having a break. But again, that can cause a break in a rift of energy when you meet. It's giving you a break from your contract to go to another contract here to find out what that is. You're on a search, you're on a journey, okay? So your phone directory will pretty much tell you exactly what they're thinking and what they're feeling, when they're going to call, when they're not going to call, if they're possibly seeing somebody else, okay? Trust me, by the time, if a lot of you are feminine, okay, this goes to men and women, okay? If you're feminine, trust me, when you get to the person that you're supposed to be, if you've gone through many different soulmate twin flame situations and you're the feminine, say, trust me, when you get to the person that you're in a relationship with at the end, you will be the masculine. You will, trust me. Through 6, I was the feminine energy. Through my relationship of my soulmate now, I'm the masculine energy. Okay? So, and same applies to men or women. It really doesn't matter. Whichever way you are, you will be the reverse of, because you go backwards to go forwards and backwards. Okay, steering are astrology charts, masculine, feminine, okay, Jupiter, Venus, right? And then also north and south of your karmic wall. So in order for that to gain back control, you gain back of reality when you're in that instant of reality. When you're not in that instant of physical manifested reality, you don't know. That's what's leading you towards your contract, okay? Because you don't know that physically, that is when you go forward on that to be in this instant. You see, you go from an instant here to another instant here of a connection. This instant is making you feel and think and feel this warm elation and this connection. Here, this instant cannot be predicted really by tarot cards unless you have personal readings, more than likely, okay? But still, you would still more than likely feel like you want to go on your journey because your contract's forcing you to. And if you don't go on that contract, pretty much it's broken and you go on to another contract that will be within the same kind of like instant, meaning it might not be the same distance, but whatever this soul had to teach you will teach you this lesson if it's another one, because you can't break a contract of something that you're contracted to learn, because you physically have to learn that contract. It doesn't matter what soul you're with, because Spirit has put this together as a connection. This bond of what you need to learn cannot ever be broken because you're designated to do it. So it doesn't matter what soulmate, what twin flame, what member of society teaches you this lesson, you can't avoid that, okay? You can avoid it for a long period of time, but trust me, you can go through another cycle with another person, another cycle with another person, okay? And that's what I'm saying, parents and people, you'll start to awaken to the truth of what that really is, okay? So generally what I'm saying is that if you avoid that contract and you don't want to go that distance, then you don't have to, okay? Because generally it doesn't matter who you meet. Your soul will elevate to a state of masculinity, okay? It has to. You have to have an equal balance of equilibrium, so you have to go from left to right. So you have to go through like Libra stages of femininity and masculinity. It's not necessarily Libra, but feminine, masculine, feminine, masculine, feminine, masculine, okay? You can't avoid your feminine side and you can't avoid your masculine side. So either side you go, you're trapped and lost. That's why you can feel lost and trapped in illusion and in space, okay? So you can go from left and you can bump into someone there, 7 of Swords, okay? You can bump into someone here and then you can bump into someone there. You can bump into someone here, you can bump into someone there, okay? So you can't avoid that. So you go forward on your journeys in order, but you trust me, you feel so much better when a lesson's been learned, because you learn that lesson and feel so much better of relief when it is physically over if it gets bad. When it physically, if things do end within karmic soulmates, okay, things do feel so much better. But you will, I lost belief, okay, trust me, I did. For a lot of you out there that are wondering and thinking, if you have gone through different soulmates or twin flames, okay, if you start to lose your belief and think, well, I've been through this soulmate and I've been through that twin flame and this twin flame and that twin flame, and it just doesn't never seem to work, and I don't never seem to meet anybody, and I'm really losing my faith and my religion and everything, all of the above, that I never will actually physically meet someone. I went through that stage too. I thought that I would, that there's just absolutely no point in me continuing. I met someone else, had loads inside me that needed pulling out, met someone else again. It made me, after a few, okay, I'm really not labelling people, right, but after a few connections of souls, I started to think, you know what, I don't even know why I'm doing this anymore, okay, and that I'm never, ever, ever, ever going to meet anybody, okay, and then all of a sudden, after so many soulmates, you get to your person, okay. That's still not ever saying that things in life, in your relationship of whoever you're with, whenever, is going to be perfect. It's not that everlasting rainbow of elation and this connection is so strong, you know, and it gets to you to where you're just like, everything is just about this one person of focus. You know, it doesn't quite feel that way-ish when you physically form union. It's not that when you're in separation, okay, and you just can't stop thinking good and bad thoughts about this person all of the time, and that you really don't know, okay, trust me, those energies do shift and change when you become masculine or feminine in the physical union stage of a relationship. It's not the same as distance when you can't see them and speak to them and you don't know, and that yearning. It's just like a relationship, really, you know. When you go through a relationship stage of not being with a person all of the time, you look forward to that instant of like a week or 2 week, and the small gaps of a week or 2 week, be like, oh well, we had such a great day when we met. Okay, completely different when you're physically living or in like major relationship wise with soulmate, twin flame, or anybody. Okay, so those are the stages really. Okay, I'm babbling now, but I hope you like this video. There are going to be loads of different more that you can hopefully stay tuned to. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the share button, and all that kind of stuff. It really does support me as a channel. I really would appreciate it. For people that are watching the tarot cards and that you are on this channel, okay, that things are going to pick up very soon, but the algorithm with YouTube is above and beyond. I can't break it. The people that have like 54,000 views per video, there are a lot of people that kind of like broke through that algorithm stage before the algorithm changed. Okay, now if you go on a search term and put in, say, Pisces, Libra, or Leo, or anybody like that, okay, if you put that in, tarot reading, March, April, or even 2020, there are hundreds and thousands of people that you have to try and beat that you just can't, because there are so many. Okay, so that's why it's very difficult in order for me to get that out there. Okay, so, but the tarot readings, pretty much what I'm saying, is going to be, I'm going to start changing things up with this channel, but the tarot readings are coming, trust me, okay? But I've had to take just a slight little break, okay? So if any of you were wondering, but if you want to watch your tarot readings or anybody, there's plenty of other stuff that you can find on this channel also, okay? And you can find all the links to a personal reading or a personal Skype call, talk, consultation, cleaning, cleansing, all that kind of thing, energy connection with someone that has also light and dark energy, okay? But it's like a healing process, it can be, okay? So if you want to do Skype calls, that kind of thing, I do offer my services for knowledge or for talking or anything else as well, okay? But you can find everything in the link in the description of the show more section, guys. Okay, so thank you for giving me your time. Thank you for giving me your patience. And stay tuned for more. All right, guys, thanks.